Sussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest rivalry in sports is here. The highly anticipated top 10 matchup, Duke-Carolina, is in Chapel Hill.
Caroline, I think it's time for some redemption and another Franklin Street frenzy. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Isabella Yuskos.
And I'm Caroline Yaffa. Thanks for joining us. But first, we need to talk about the shocking defeat that took place on Tuesday night, trying to keep the tremendous 10-game conference win streak alive leading into the rivalry Duke game. The number 3 ranked men's basketball team traveled to Atlanta Monday to face Georgia Tech. The Heels started off looking like the tough team they are with this and one bucket from Elliot Cadeau. However, sloppy defense and a jarring amount of turnovers allowed the Yellow Jackets to find shots, tying the score at 37 by the half. Although the team limited turnovers in the second half, faulty free throws and a low shooting percentage haunted the Heels. With 35 seconds left, RJ Davis makes a rebound fast break layup that puts the Tar Heels up by 1. On the other end of the court, Nathan George makes the play to put the Yellow Jackets back on top. With the miss by Davis on the final play of the game and the no call, Carolina ended the night with a sting, losing 74-73. RJ Davis just can't be stopped. The sensational senior has won ACC Player of the Week honors for the 3rd time this season. Davis racked up a career-high 36 points against Wake Forest and spearheaded a thrilling come-from-behind win in Tallahassee versus FSU. While Georgia Tech handed UNC their first ACC loss of the season on Tuesday, Davis did his part, scoring 28, more than a third of Carolina's total points. Davis and the Heels host the 7th-ranked Duke Blue Devils in the Dean Dome tomorrow. After a shocking loss, let's go to top of the key to see what went wrong. Amon?
Caroline, Tuesday's game left a foul taste in fans' mouth. Watching that game, and quite honestly the past 3, I and much of Tar Heel Nation have a huge question. Where's the double-double machine Armando Bacot? During the past 3 games, he's averaging only 6 points and 6 rebounds. And by the way, those 3 games were against unranked teams. What seems to be the issue? Well, it's the intent of Bacot and the UNC offense. I want to start with Georgia Tech. Look at where Armando Bacot catches the ball, 15 feet from the hoop, and he's going to go back down his defender, goes into a spin pivot, into a hook shot. I don't mind the aggressive take there from Armando Bacot, but UNC and Bacot have to understand that they had to be way more creative in getting him a better look down low. And recently, he hasn't been getting those looks, but he hasn't done himself any favors either. Let's go to the 238 mark against Florida State. UNC has committed 3 straight turnovers, and all the momentum is on the side of the Seminoles. On this vital play, I want you to watch Armando Bacot. All right, you're going to see him kind of half post up his defender there, then drift towards the block, and then take a couple of steps to the free throw line, maybe looking like he's going to set a screen for Seth Trimble, but there's nothing of confidence there. You're Armando Bacot. When the game gets to these pivotal points, you need to have the ball in your hands or at least demand on the court. And the frustrating part is that he's done it before. Let's go to an ACC matchup earlier in the year on the road at Clemson. UNC is in a 3-minute scoring drought and need to break the Tigers' momentum. Watch the intent from Bacot here. He's going to get the ball at the top of the key, hands it off to RJ, sets the screen, and then rolls down into a prime post-up position and finishes the tough bucket there. This is the brand of basketball the Tar Heel fans have come to expect from Armando Bacot, and if there's going to be any rushing of Franklin on Saturday, Armando Bacot has to play that brand of basketball. Caroline?
Amon, you're completely right. Duke swept UNC in 2023, resulting in an empty Franklin Street. So what does Carolina need to do to reverse last year's result?
Well, Caroline, I think the Heels need to be way more creative with how they get Armando Bacot involved. I think using off-ball screens to get him mismatches down low and getting him the ball going downhill on pick and rolls are going to be key on Saturday.
Well, I hope to see you on Franklin Saturday night. Thanks, Amon.
From playing in the rivalry to now talking about it on the ACC network, Joel Berry is one of the most recognizable names in UNC basketball history. He knows a thing or two about playing against the school down the road. Anna Lively tells us how he offers a new perspective as a national champion and now an analyst.
Joel Berry is one of UNC basketball's most recognizable names. He's one of only 7 players in college basketball history to score 20 or more points in consecutive national championship games. Joel helped lead his team to a national championship in 2017 as a captain and earned Final Four Most Outstanding Player honors.
Just being able to do what we did in back-to-back years, it was awesome. I'm glad and was honored to be a part of that team and be a captain.
One of his most iconic performances came against Duke when he put up 28 points. When it comes to the rivalry, nothing quite compares.
It was awesome, and I didn't really understand it until I was physically at the game. But even just going around campus, just the energy, the feel in the air is totally different. If you go to Carolina and Duke and it's that week, you know what's at stake.
Now he's a basketball analyst on the ACC network and is hosting the Up in the Rafters podcast on Inside Carolina. While he's in a different role, he can't get away from Carolina and thinks this team has a chance to do what his team did in 2017.
And I do think they have all the pieces to be able to make a run in March and make it to the last weekend. And they're playing with a togetherness and a camaraderie that you don't see often in college basketball anymore.
Even though Joel isn't on the court anymore, this rivalry runs much deeper than basketball and is on a different level of blue blood hatred. I'm Anna Lively reporting.
6 years ago, Joel went absolutely off against Duke, scoring a team-high 28 points. Caroline, how can RJ go Barry mode and get the win tomorrow?
Well, Bella, I think RJ has already gone Barry mode. I mean, this season against Syracuse, Wake Forest, he shot 58% from field goal, above 58%, and above 60% from three. So when RJ has a great game, it's clear that Carolina puts a tally in the win column.
I expect RJ to have a great game tomorrow. Hopefully it will turn out well for us. Hopefully. But you know who needs to get back in the win column? The Lady Tar Heels. The number 24 Tar Heels traveled down I-40 to Reynolds Coliseum to face the 5th-ranked Wolfpack. Reynolds' atmosphere was intimidating, but that didn't scare Carolina away from an early lead. However, UNC quickly cooled off, but State hit some shots and kept the pressure on to take a 7-point lead at the half. UNC rallied in the third, shooting better than 60% to cut the lead down to 1 with this bucket by Deja Kelly. Going into the fourth, UNC kept things close throughout the quarter and found themselves down 3 with less than a minute left. They had plenty of chances at the end, but Carolina made every mistake possible, leading to a forced turnover that was the nail in the coffin. They gave the game away in heartbreaking fashion, 63-59. For more on some of these missed chances late, our women's basketball analyst Daniel Masterson takes us down the lane to break down what went wrong. Daniel?
Bella, the Wolfpack were begging Carolina to come and take this game, but the Heels just weren't able to execute down the stretch to pull off the upset. With 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, Renaya Kelly hit a 3 to make the score 62-59. But during the next 4 minutes of game action, the Heels didn't score another point. So what went wrong on those last 3 possessions? Now you see here, there's 30 seconds left in the game. Carolina's down 3. They're going to set a screen with Maria Gokdang going to Deja's left, but she's going to ignore it. Bam, power crossover, drives to her right, and if you see here, it looks like Alyssa Usby is wide open, and that's exactly what Deja's looking at. But so is Rivers for NC State. She sees this pass coming from a mile away. She hawks that. She gets there. She ties her up, forces a jump ball, and it gives State possession. Now, after another intentional foul, State was inbounding the ball, and Carolina was able to get a clutch steal, leading to a 2-on-1 fast break. But if you stop it here, look how much space Alyssa Usby has going to her left. She also has Gokdang on her right. She either needs to go strong with the ball or dump it off to Gokdang for a layup. But she does neither. Alyssa fades to the corner, and it incidentally actually opens up some space for Deja Kelly for an easy layup that should be made every time. That's a bunny. It has to go. But UNC got one more chance. NC State's Zoe Brooks missed both of her free throws after that intentional fouls, so they had one last opportunity to even it up. On this play, they're trying to set a pin down here with India Navarre, getting Lexi Donarski coming hard, getting the ball at the top of the key, and shooting down the lane. But NC State's defender sees that coming, she shoots that gap, and Donarski is coming too fast, and that's an easy offensive foul call for the ref. On this angle, you know, State's defender, she knows only a 3 hurts them, so she gets in front, and that really just kills all of the Heels' final chances. The Heels played a top 5 team down to the wire, and they had multiple chances to come away with a stunning upset, but they really need to work on that late game execution.
Daniel, what are the positives we can take away from this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, the defense was much improved off their last matchup versus Virginia. They held a really good NC State offense to only 63 points, and they're going to need that defense still locked in with Elizabeth Kitley and Virginia Tech coming into town Sunday.
Thanks, Daniel.
The 17th ranked men's lacrosse team charges into 2024 with Paul Barden and Andrew Geppert both named to the Inside Lacrosse preseason All-American list. Barden and Geppert anchored the Tar Heels defense last season. Barden led the team in his sophomore year with 17 caused turnovers and 32 ground balls, while Geppert contributed 18 ground balls and 9 caused turnovers. The preseason #3 women's lacrosse team has the season opener next Saturday against JMU. But this weekend, there's a showdown you don't want to miss. Carolina legends returned to Dorrance Field for the Women's Lacrosse All-Star Game. The lacrosse team released on social media that UNC's all-time save leader, 2021 ACC Defender of the Year, and 4-time All-American Taylor Marino will be in goal. She's joined by Maddie Hoffer, Katie Thompson, Ali Mastriani, Andy Aldave, and many more. The 2024 team will face off against their talented alums tomorrow at 11. For the first time, we'll see the nation's #1 recruiting class in action on Dorrance Field. Let's go inside the crease with Caroline Routh for a breakdown of one of the freshman stars. Caroline?
Caroline, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And in women's lacrosse, that's reigning national champion Northwestern. But it's 2024. UNC is loaded. And the newest addition is the #1 high school recruit, Chloe Humphrey. Humphrey has already proven herself against the Wildcats at the U20 Fall Classic, scoring 5 goals on the day. Now let's check one out. Over here, Chloe Humphrey, #2, she's going to set a screen. No one's really going to bite on this one, but she's going to come back around, set another pick, slip through, catch, fake out her defender, and rip the ball in from the 8, an easy goal. Now, not only can Humphrey score, but she can pass the ball too. Now let's check it out. On this next play here, Humphrey's going to work to get open. She's going to have to pop out outside the fan, catch, and immediately fire the ball down to Madison Epke on the crease for an easy crease roll goal. Now, what I love about this is that's a spot that UNC attacker Caitlin Wurzberger loves. So I'm sensing a lot of smart, tight passes from Humphrey to Wurzberger on the crease. The duo could be a real force. The talented addition could turn the Heels' preseason #3 ranking into a postseason #1. Caroline?
Caroline, how do you think Humphrey and the underclassmen will shape up against the UNC greats this weekend?
Well, these young stars will get a chance to go up against some of the best in the pro world tomorrow. Win or lose, you get better by playing someone better. So I think it'll give the Heels strong momentum heading into the season.
I agree. Thanks, Caroline.
The UNC men's tennis team is on the road tomorrow, hoping to serve up a win against Illinois. Fresh off their win against #20 Florida on Sunday, UNC will be looking to Benjamin Katay and Philip Jordan to continue dominating on the courts. While the Illini won in their previous meeting, Will Jansen and his aggressive style of play might be the ace the Heels need to pull out the win. The match is set for 7 p.m. The UNC gymnastics team travels to Pitt tonight in search of its first conference victory of the season. This will be the Heels' first road ACC matchup following back-to-back home defeats against NC State and Clemson. This will be the first time these two teams have faced off since last year when Carolina traveled to Pittsburgh and came out victorious. If the Heels want to get back on track, they need a better showing on bars where they've averaged a score of just 48.1 in the past 2 meets. After coming off a victory Sunday against Navy, the UNC wrestling team will travel to Raleigh to face the #8 ranked Wolfpack later today. The big matchup of the night will be between two wrestlers who've had quite the season so far. In the 174 weight class, Carolina's Tyler Eichens is coming off a big win in overtime and is looking to bring the heat on Friday against #31 Alex Faison. NC State Wrestling opened its conference slate with a 31-6 victory against #19 Pitt last Friday night and is looking to gain another victory against the Heels a week later. Jackson Arrington, ranked #4 in the 149 weight class, will go head-to-head with Will Guida for the Heels.
On Monday, we gave you our 2 best plays of the week, and you guys voted on our Instagram stories. The winner and Tar Heel team captain RJ Davis is just doing what he does best, making big-time plays. Going between his legs not once, but twice, then into a step-back 3, and ladies and gentlemen, we could hear that swish all the way in Chapel Hill. You can see RJ putting up big-time 3s against Duke on Saturday. The last time he was in the Dean Dome, the All-American got his career high, 36, so a 3 is almost guaranteed.
Club sport athletes face a lot of challenges. No funding, limited practice space, and as Rachel Kivlin shows us, sometimes even who their opponents are.
Forging an uncharted path in club sports can be a daunting feat, but not for UNC Keenan Flagler business student Ryan Breslin, the president of the women's club golf team.
I started out as a freshman as the social media manager for our new team, and I realized that we needed merchandise, so I transitioned to the vice president of merchandising, and then now I ran for president as a sophomore, and now I'm the women's club president.
Ryan's team is the only women's club golf team in North Carolina, meaning their only competition is men.
That makes our competition a lot harder. I think that's what makes our club different than other clubs, is that there is nobody else out there like us.
The team is not only different, it is successful. Ryan placed in the top 10 at Co-Ed Nationals last year and was recently featured in a Golf Digest article. Georgia Chapman is a sophomore at UNC that Ryan recruited for the team.
Growing up playing golf, which is a predominantly male sport, I always felt like the odd one out. When coming to UNC, I was really interested in joining the club team, but nervous since there weren't that many girls who played. I was nervous up until I met our president, Ryan Breslin. Ryan Breslin has such a positive mindset and very inclusive of everyone on the team and made me feel included in one of the sports I love.
The team will compete in several NCCGA regional tournaments this year and is looking ahead to nationals in the spring.
We are so excited to see what the UNC Women's Club Golf team has in store for us next. It's sure to be the best season by far. I'm Rachel Kivlin reporting.
From the green to the court, from the tee to the net, tomorrow could be the best we ever get. Caroline, we have game day, UNC Duke, and the possible rushing of Franklin.
I mean, Bella, this is it, a contest you just don't want to miss, and it starts at 6:30 at the Deanie Smith Center. And knock on wood, it ends just like this with thousands of people, Chapel Hill students, residents just rushing Franklin Street.
It will be a long, long day, and even longer run, honestly, from the Dean Dome. But that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday with all of the highlights from another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.